My name's Eareckson. I'm a senior majoring in political science and history. I've also picked up the presidential studies minor. This summer, I had the privilege of spending 2 weeks in Philadelphia during the Democratic National Convention, where I found out that we would be getting the presidential debate here at Hofstra. And during the presidential debate, I actually had the opportunity to work as a security volunteer, and because of those credentials, I was able to watch it, which was a fantastic experience. I'm a double political science and history major, and I think the two studies really complement each other very nicely because it's nice seeing something you learn about in a poli-sci class come up in a history class or vice versa. So I think having a theoretical understanding and actually seeing the theories that you're learning about put into practice in a history class is very conducive for understanding the material that is being presented to you. I am one of Hofstra's first presidential studies minors, and I'm very excited about it because I'm seeing the real development of the minor, like really working hands-on with it. As part of the minor, you're required to take a series of courses. So I had to take a political science course on the American presidency, a history course that was related to a presidency, and then a combination of history, poli-sci, global studies, rhetoric. You can mix and match with certain classes, but they have to satisfy the set criteria for the program. This semester, I'm working as a student aide for Dr. Mina Bose, who's in charge of the Calico Center for the Study of the Presidency, which is sort of what the Presidential Studies minor is under. And I've really had an opportunity to assist in the development and planning of certain programs that we've had on campus. So I think it's really nice to be one of the people really helping pioneer this specific program. Well, I thought my time at the Democratic Convention it really helped me understand diverse points of view. I was expecting going to the Democratic National Convention to see real party unity because what we heard about is the Republican Party wasn't unified around Trump and the Democratic Party was unified around Hillary Clinton. But I really noticed that the Democratic Party was pretty divided. There was a very vocal dissent from the Bernie Sanders supporters. And I was very surprised to hear about that because that's not really what you're seeing portrayed on the media. So I think actually experiencing something like that in person helps you understand the reality of the situation. I also really enjoyed the experience of being able to speak with students from all across the country and, share our political beliefs and, really understand why people think a certain way. Being able to experience a presidential debate on your campus is something I'm still experiencing excitement from. When I heard the news that we got it, I was very excited. I wanted to see how I could be involved. I remember getting the email to, fill out an application to be a volunteer. I did that. I ended up being a security volunteer, which I think was one of the best ones, especially because I was placed in the debate hall and I had credentials for that, which allowed me to watch the debate in person. I thought that having the debate on campus was really great overall. It was great for the university. And it was great for me as a student to be able to see this in person because seeing it in person, seeing all the work that goes into it behind the scenes, whether it be, all the political people that are here or the media, massive media operations, to see how smoothly it translates on TV compared to all the work that goes here was very interesting. As a history major, I feel like I've learned a lot of skills that are going to be conducive to me as I move forward in life. If I had to advise students about whether or not to be a history major, I would say go for it. I think the amount of reading, research, and writing that you have to do as part of the program are useful whatever field you want to go to. I personally will be attending law school after I finish my studies at Hofstra, and I think being exposed to such dense materials is very good for any type of upper level studies, but I also think it's intellectually stimulating and it makes you think. When you're reading history, you're often faced with a lot of questions in your test with identifying nuances and possibly coming up with explanations for that. So I think if you're an intellectually curious person and somebody who's into that kind of stuff, history would be the right course of study for you.